Today's episode is sponsored by ZEISS Industrial Quality Solutions. Visit them at zeiss.com/metrology.
Hello, and welcome to Advanced Manufacturing Now, the podcast for manufacturing professionals. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to get new episodes delivered to your inbox each week. I'm your host, Rachael Thomas, editor at SME Media. I'm joined today by Hendrie Viktor, Vice President, Head of Sales at ZEISS Industrial Quality Solutions North America. With over 25 years of experience driving growth in industrial and manufacturing technology, Hendrie Viktor has dedicated his career to helping companies achieve their goals through transformative solutions. As Vice President, Head of Sales at ZEISS, he leads high-impact teams across the region, delivering innovation to industries such as aerospace, automotive, electronics, and medical. Combining deep technical expertise with a focus on building trusted long-term partnerships, Hendrie is committed to sustainability, innovation, and fostering a culture of customer excellence. Welcome to the show, Hendrie.
Thanks, Rachel. Appreciate the introduction.
Yes, of course. So our topic for today is on ZEISS's Manufacturing Insights Report, which shares details into how U.S. manufacturers are tackling challenges in the industry. But before we get started into that report, Hendrie, can you tell me a little more about yourself and your organization, ZEISS?
Yes, certainly. So a little bit about myself. I've worked for ZEISS for nearly 20 years now. And prior to that, I was in the manufacturing industry myself. It's great to shift from a manufacturer into a provider of quality solutions because that helped me understand a lot of the pain and challenges that there is within the manufacturing space. I've worked in various markets. I've worked in Africa, Europe, Asia, and as of the last 3 years in North America. About the industry or about what we do, so we provide quality solutions, systems, and software that helps manufacturers produce better quality parts and reduce scrap rates and basically drive productivity and efficiency within their manufacturing plants.
That's amazing. And I love hearing about, all of the industries across the world that you've had a chance to, make your impact on. All right, Hendrie, if you can tell us a little bit about the report, how ZEISS created it, and why.
We really care about understanding the unique goals and challenges manufacturers are facing. We know that truly understanding their needs, we need to understand the key factors and trends shaping the manufacturing landscape from their perspective. So we launched this Manufacturing Insights questionnaire. The survey was open to all US-based manufacturers, and it gathered over 1,000 responses from various industries across 49 states, including input from everyone from the shop floor all the way to the C-suite. These responses came from more than a dozen key industries, including automotive, aerospace, electronics, medical, power and energy. So that really gave us a very comprehensive overview of the state of US manufacturing and the role that quality assurance currently is playing in it. This report was designed to act as a roadmap, and it helps stakeholders give them a clear picture of the current state of manufacturing, the hurdles they might face, and also the opportunities they can seize. So with this data-driven insights, we're helping organizations align their strategies with the latest trends and plan for a successful future.
Thank you. Yeah, that's amazing to hear, all that went into the report and just getting, over 1,000 responses to that survey. So what was one of the most surprising findings from the report?
Oh, great question. I would say one of the most surprising takeaways is that quality's role in manufacturing is evolving. It's evolving from a manufacturing stage to a critical enabler of innovation, cost savings, and strategic growth. What we found is that industry leaders are minimizing defects, boosting efficiency, and aligning quality with innovation based on data. When we surveyed the industry on the importance of quality control in manufacturing, over 93% of respondents highlighted it as critical to their processes, and that figure only rose to 95% amongst executives and directors. While this underscores the industry's recognition of quality control as a top priority, there were also some interviews that revealed challenges that many manufacturers face. For example, in some organizations, a disconnect between quality teams and upper management leads to quality issues being overlooked and this to avoid costs associated with immediate rework and root cause analysis. On top of that, many also pointed out that industrial quality technologies they're using today is significantly underutilized. And this is, of course, representing a missed opportunity for further improvement.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what were some of the trends and challenges identified?
We found quite a few trends, but I would say, firstly, there's a huge push towards adopting AI and automation, which is transforming how manufacturers operate. There's a lot of focus on reshoring to build more resilient domestic supply chains. And of course, rising costs and workforce challenges are still big issues. But overall, the industry is moving toward being better, more efficient, and more sustainable. As you could probably guess, a lot of these challenges identified relate to costs. But what is really interesting is that cost pressures are driving demand for sustainability, which goes beyond merely reducing one's environmental impact. Our findings suggest that sustainability is one of the top strategic priorities for manufacturers, with over 50-70% of respondents citing it as being very important to their manufacturing processes. To highlight a few of the major areas that this can help, firstly, with business sustainability. So balancing that precision, speed, and throughput for profitability. Secondly, equipment longevity, ensuring durable systems through service and proper maintenance. Thirdly, process stability, so developing reliable, adaptable processes. And lastly, workforce sustainability. This is helping to prevent burnout with accessible tools and ongoing skill development. This tells us that building a sustainable manufacturing environment is a shared challenge. How we are approaching this with our customers at ZEISS is by empowering them with precise metrology data that enables them to simulate and optimize their processes, therefore reducing waste and improving energy efficiency. Additionally, user-friendly software, platforms, and flexible training models ensure continuous skill development that empowers teams to drive sustainable improvements over time. Further elaborating on the cost factor, close to 40% identified the cost of rework and iterations as a top quality management issue, while 47% noted that time-consuming inspection processes, particularly with rising product complexity, to be a big challenge for them. So eliminating rework and minimizing iterations with metrology technologies is crucial, especially if tighter part quality standards are increasing. The challenge is to balance this throughput, precision, and efficiency to control costs while maintaining the high quality standards that your customers demand. Manufacturers are also focusing on building more resilient supply chains and investing in technologies to improve efficiency. They're also reshoring operations to reduce reliance on global supply chains and mitigate the impact of trade uncertainties. These strategies really help them to adapt to economic pressures and maintain that stability in the market that they're after.
Yeah, that's really, fascinating to hear, especially it's good to hear that as far as the survey respondents saying, sustainability across all aspects of the business was like, a top priority for their companies and everything. So that's really good to hear. For the next question, our reporting here at SME Media shows that the shortage of skilled labor is another huge challenge impacting manufacturing right now. Did that topic come up as a challenge in your report as well?
Absolutely. Our questionnaire revealed that over 47% of respondents identified with a shortage of skilled labor, and that is a significant challenge for them. So it's nearly half of all respondents. This concern was consistently ranked as a top challenge across every industry too. So in follow-up discussions, many of the respondents highlighted difficulties in attracting and retaining workers, while others pointed to a widening skills gap, particularly in advanced manufacturing. And unsurprisingly, obviously, 65% of respondents identified with employee upskilling and training as one of the best opportunities to address some of these challenges. While some of these challenges they are facing is finding skilled workers, one of the ways we can help manufacturers solve this is by bridging some of the skills gaps and preparing employees for new technologies like automation and AI. This means investing in continuous learning and development programs and creating opportunities for employees to grow within their organization and to adapt to this evolving industry and needs that everyone is facing. So at ZEISS, we're supporting our customers with this initiative in many ways. One of them is through the ZEISS Academy program. What we do here is we collaborate with technical schools to upskill the next generation. This is particularly of interest to many of our customers because they take in skilled labor into their organizations and helps them speed up with the knowledge transfer. We also offer a comprehensive range of up-to-date training options designed to meet every metrology need. So therefore, empowering manufacturers to bridge the skills gap and also build a stronger, more capable workforce. We believe that in continuous investment in training can help companies build a stronger, more adaptable workforce that can meet the demands for the future.
Yeah, that's amazing, especially with the academy program for ZEISS. Can you elaborate a bit more on, what those trainings look like and how long ZEISS has been, working on that?
Yes, certainly. So the Academy program was started years ago, and I would say probably initially to help us also find the right talent in the industry. So to help technical schools and increase the pool of candidates that we can draw to help us serve some of our own skill gaps. But quickly learned that this need was more than our own. It was a lot of our customers had the same challenge. So we came up with this program where we support these technical schools with the latest technology, but also our skills in terms of upskilling them and giving them an opportunity to create competitions, etc., to attract the right kind of talents and get them excited about manufacturing again.
Yeah, that's really cool. Especially for on my end, I've been at SME Media now for a couple months, and I hear AI, automation, and workforce development are three areas that we report extensively on. So it's really cool to hear some of the things that ZEISS is doing on that way. So I'd love to hear more about what are some other opportunities that exist for manufacturers to overcome challenges and drive innovation.
So, with regards to other opportunities for manufacturers to overcome challenges, we found that these challenges are pushing companies towards finding innovative solutions and that metrology can play a key role here. So, for example, when we think about the lack of skilled personnel, time consuming inspection processes, or the cost of rework as being top challenges, we think that emphasizing the ease of use for inspection technologies and software as being extremely important for this. The easier we can make it, the more intuitive we can make it, that'll help with the skills gap and getting employees trained up faster and get to use the software to an advanced level way faster than in the past. Most of the organization surveys also identified that new metrology technology was one of the greatest opportunities to overcome some of these challenges. So over and above the ease of use software, also new technologies can help them overcome some of this. Out of that, about over 60% shared with us that they are planning to invest further in these technologies and software to help them bridge some of these gaps and improve the product life cycle in manufacturing. So for us, we think that integrating metrology data can help manufacturers to simulate and optimize their processes in real time. This means they can predict where the potential issues might arise and address them proactively. This will result in higher product quality, better resource utilization, and also reduced environmental impact. Another one is digital transformation, and this is really going to help companies to adapt and thrive. By embracing these digital tools, manufacturers can improve their efficiency, respond to some of these challenges more quickly, and build long-term resilience into their organization. Some of the technologies that supports this digitalization, like 3D scanning and CT X-ray, they're key to help companies access that digital twin strategy that helps manufacturers thrive in a fast-paced, changing world. These give us visual data that helps us see the full picture of what's happening with a part or their process, and that allows them to more proactively address some of these reactive quality issues.
Yeah, absolutely. So the report also mentions a shift toward continuous incremental transformation. So what does this mean for the industry and how can manufacturers implement this approach effectively?
Yeah, so This shift really means that instead of overhauling everything, manufacturers are focusing on gradual improvements. This is a much smarter way to stay agile and adapt to challenges without disrupting operations. We often hear you should just get started, and this is really what we mean with that. The key is to really invest in scalable, high impact solutions that can evolve with the business and the partner over time and provide solutions that can support the manufacturer each step of the way. I also want to note that one of the reports also revealed the top 3 critical success factors for manufacturing, which is sustainability, supply chain innovation, and automation. This really tells us that investing in technology, focusing on sustainability, and aligning quality with processes within the company's overarching goal is really critical. Success in this manufacturing environment really comes down to innovation, improving efficiency, and staying agile to adapt to all these new changing challenges.
Yeah, that's really insightful. So, looking specifically at SME's audience, what are the key takeaways from this report that tell us about the future of U.S. manufacturing, and how is ZEISS helping shape that future?
So the big takeaway for me is that the US manufacturers is in a state of transformation, and that quality is now key to driving this innovation, the cost savings, and the strategic growth. We see that industry leaders are minimizing defects, boosting efficiency, and aligning quality with innovation, and truly using this as a competitive advantage. We will see continued investments in sustainability, automation, and supply chain innovation for manufacturers to stay competitive and to create a more efficient, agile, and resilient industry for the future. As ZEISS, we're fully committed to driving innovation and quality in manufacturing. And through our metrology technologies and insights, we're helping manufacturers optimize their processes, reduce waste, and embrace sustainability. If you're thinking about it, we're not just keeping up with the industry, we're actually helping lead the way into the future.
Yeah, thank you for that. Well, Hendrie, thanks for joining us today. You've shared a lot of great insights. It was very informative for me personally, and I expect for our audience as well. We really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate the invite.
Yeah, I do have one last question for you. If listeners want to learn more about ZEISS, where should they go to get more information?
Yeah, sure. They can go to zeiss.com/metrology and they can find a way to connect with us, but also all of the technologies and solutions that we have to offer.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So that is zeiss.com/metrology. And to keep up with the latest manufacturing trends and hear more podcasts from SME, subscribe to our podcast feed and, of course, visit us at advancedmanufacturing.org. Until next time, thanks everyone.